The most hilarious part of politics in modern day Canada 2025, where we're living in this woke upside down world, is lefties yelling at conservatives, you're a fascist, I'm not going to say it, but just the nastiest names, when the liberals are the ones who are pushing all of these speech laws that say you're not allowed to speak if I disagree with you. That's actual fascistic behavior. Before I get into it, if you're not a member already, check it out. Join the Fight for Canada movement. If you join and become a member, we're going to have chats. We're going to have exclusive polls. You'll help me get this movement truly off the ground. Patriotic Canadians fighting against the takeover and destruction of our country. So you can hit join at the top of my video if you're interested. But if you look into what fascism actually is, one of the tenets of fascism is shutting your opponents up. You either have to toe the line or you're expelled, or worse. And who does that remind you of in the modern day? Is that modern day conservatives who want to shut their opponents up, or modern day liberals? Because for the past 10 years, cancel culture, I'm fairly certain that about 97% of the cancellations that I've seen have been left-wingers going after right-wingers for speech. I'm fairly certain that the ones pushing Bill C-63, the so-called Online Harms Act, are liberals. The ones who want to set up a digital safety commission in Canada featuring 10 unelected bureaucrats and an ombudsman who would have the power to put any Canadian under house arrest, give them an ankle bracelet, and confiscate their weapons for, I kid you not, the threat that they are going to say something hateful in the future, are the liberals. The liberals are literally attempting to pass a law, and in all likelihood would have been passed already had government not been prorogued under Justin Trudeau. They want to pass a law where any citizen can tell on another citizen, not for anything they've done, but because they believe they are likely to say something hateful in the future. I kid you not. And the government will have the ability to put you under house arrest, give you an ankle bracelet, and confiscate any weapons you may have. That sounds pretty damn fascistic to me. And that's not the conservatives. Pierre Poilievre is clearly against that. That is a liberal proposal. I'm fairly certain that it's the liberals that are saying they want to be able to throw Canadians in prison for life for so-called incitement to genocide. I've seen a hell of a lot of incitement to genocide on our streets. Some of the most vile stuff I've ever heard coming out of loudspeakers, foreign flags all over Canada, and they get the red carpet rolled out to them by the police force overseen by the liberals, but they want to shut down. We know exactly who they're going to go after with this law, so-called incitement to genocide. Again, the liberals are the ones, it seems, who want to shut you the hell up if you don't agree with them. The liberals are the ones who want to extend the definition of hate speech to include so-called fomentation of detestation and vilification. I kid you not. What exactly does that mean? Fomentation of detestation, vilification? They want to make it illegal to have feelings. If your feelings are hurt, you should get it. If you hurt another citizen's feelings, you should be liable to get a long prison term. Time and time and time again. It is not the conservatives who act in fascistic ways. It is the liberals, yet they're the ones who throw the word around so liberty. Last time I checked, it's the liberals who are attempting to pass Bill C-2, Bill C-4, which are the most extreme trampling of our charter rights and freedoms in Canadian history. This is not an exaggeration. Bill C-2 would define every single Canadian who owns a computer as an electronic device provider. Bill C-2, they put it at the back of the 100-page bill. Any electronic device provider can have their access hacked to their communications machine, whether that be your computer, your phone, whatever it is you use to communicate in the modern day, if the government deems it in the national security interest. This is a bill that's more extreme than what the states passed post 9/11, the Patriot Act. Sounds pretty damn fascistic to me. That's the liberals. Also included in Bill C-2, if it is deemed in the national security interest, the Canadian government will have the ability to open any Canadian's mail without notifying that. You heard me right. They can open your mail without giving you any notification if it's deemed to be in the national security interest. Sounds pretty damn fascistic to me. Bill C-4 absolves the liberal government of any wrongdoing with your data, any wrongdoing dating back to 2000. The Liberal government has collected millions of pieces of data. They automatically get quite a bit of data when a federal election is coming up. But of course, they also collect a lot of data outside of that. This is millions of pieces of data at the back of Bill C-4. They always put it at the back of the bill because they rely on their propaganda outlets, CBC and CTV, who you can never trust for 2 seconds, to never report on it. And they trust that Canadians aren't going to read through the entirety of these insane bills. Back of Bill C-4, they say, we are absolved of responsibility of any misuse of Canadians' data dating back to 2000. Now, you absolutely would not do something like this unless you knew that you had misused Canadian data. Again, who sounds like the tyrant here? Is it the Conservatives or the Liberals? So the Liberals can shut the hell up with their "you're a fascist." Sovereignty is a pillar of Western civilization. Read a goddamn book. Free speech, sovereignty. These are the two pillars of Western civilization. We are not going to be intimidated. We know when you're losing an argument, you start name calling, and that's exactly what the Liberals are doing. They realize their policies are wildly unpopular, so they've begun to call anybody with national pride, anybody who's a proud Canadian, anybody who thinks that Canada should have borders, anything that thinks that free Canadians should be allowed to speak their mind, are far right wingers or some label. No. You are actually the tyrannical ones. If you actually look up the definition of fascist tyranny, it's a hell of a lot of what the Liberals are doing, what Justin Trudeau did during COVID. They're the ones who are really crushing our Charter of Rights and Freedoms. It's not the right way. We need to unite Canadian patriots together. I'm holding a rally Saturday, September 13th, Parliament Hill at noon. If you're interested in attending, please message me, let me know. I want to get thousands of patriotic Canadians out there, same day as the UK is hosting their rally with Tommy Robinson, because we need to take this country back, and we need to take this country back now. If you're interested in supporting me, drop a super thanks, become a member. I'm going to work with members to, we need to create a movement to take Canada back, and I couldn't be more excited to do this. We will take this country back, and the Liberals really need to read a dictionary.